Married Redditors, what is the creepiest thing your spouse has ever done?
Experience 1. He sometimes makes sounds like the predator in his sleep. It is not a good sound to wake up to. I wake up in terror every single time, and he's still out cold, clicking and drooling away. Experience 2. My husband found an app for our PC webcam that allowed him to stream to an ancient flip phone of his. He proceeded to compliment my shirt, ask me why I changed, how my sandwich tasted. It went on for hours. I started freaking out and thought someone stole his phone and was watching me. I'd try to call him, and he'd refuse to answer the call, or he would pick it up and breathe heavily. It wasn't until I was on the verge of tears that he decided to call me and explain. I could have killed the man. Experience 3. My wife occasionally tries to make visual contact with my butthole. She's never made any kind of sexual advance in that sense. Just every once in a while, I'll catch her sneaking up on me when I'm naked or changing with this goofy look on her face. I'm sure she only does this because I act super self-conscious of my butt area. Usually, I'll notice her and run away giggling. She's yet to be able to confirm visually whether or not I actually have a butthole, which I guess means I'm winning. Experience 4. One night my spouse got up to get water just as I was starting to fall asleep. When she came back in the room, she crawled around the bed to my side and licked my hand, which was dangling over the edge of the bed. I woke up thinking a dog was in the room, saw her crouching down there, and jumped out of the bed. I couldn't even speak for a minute because of how much it scared me, and she just rolled around on the floor laughing hysterically. Experience 5. My wife will hide for quite a while to scare the crap out of me. 10 to 20 minutes to catch me off guard. For a while, it happened when I got out of the shower. It got so bad that I would creep out of the shower and look for her all over the house in nothing but a towel and a judo pose. There were a few times I searched all over the house only to find out she had left to go shopping. Edit. Thanks for the upvotes. I'm glad to see I'm not alone in this. Experience 6. I woke up around 3 a.m. after having a nightmare about a ghost. I woke my sofa for comfort, but he turned to me and said, totally seriously,
"There are no such things as ghosts, just giant mothmen that take you away while you're sleeping."
He remembered nothing the next morning. Experience 7. My wife occasionally talks in her sleep. About a month into dating her, I was woken up by her telling me that sometimes she likes to take male midsections and snap them like this, complete with a motion not too dissimilar to breaking a pencil in half. Thankfully, my midsection remains unsnapped to this day. Experience 8. My hair is kind of long, and when I brush it, it creates hairballs. I normally just throw them away ASAP, but one time I was running late and just left it in the brush. When I got home, my son was playing with it. I came over to grab it and he refused, saying he felt sad throwing it in the trash as it was my hair. He kept it for a few days before he forgot about it, so I threw it out. Experience 9. My wife has muttered in her sleep before. Nothing very intelligible. But one night about a year ago, I came in after she was already asleep and started getting undressed.
"Hi, honey,"
she says in the cheeriest, most awake voice you can imagine. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't faintly hoped, at this point, that I might be about to get lucky.
Hi. What are you still doing awake? It's after midnight.
No answer. I put on my pajamas.
"Honey?"
she says, as if to get my attention.
Yeah.
"You're going to burn."
I slept with one eye open that night. She did not remember in the morning. Experience 10. My wife speaks in a different language in her sleep. A completely formed language, with repeating words, clear articulation, sentence formation, and proper cadence, but not of this world. She says that her parents told her she's been doing this since she learned to talk. She even responds to questions in her sleep, in the other language. Experience 11. I was asleep one night many moons ago when I woke up to find my wife lying next to me with thick rope she had bought from the hardware store, teaching herself how to tie the perfect noose for Halloween decorations in September at 3 a.m. A few years later and I'm still alive, so I have that going for me. Edit, I forgot to add that her perfect noose ended up hanging from a tree branch overlooking our driveway. My constant reminder leaving and coming home from work that I'm living with an assassin. Experience 12. My girlfriend is incredibly talkative in her sleep. She usually says funny crap like tell that jalapeno to put some pants on. But sometimes the stuff she does gets pretty creepy. One time I was on my iPad, and she started laughing in this really thin, stiff, creepy horror movie kind of way and then jolted up, still fully asleep. She proceeded to look around the room pointing and laughing at things in the same creepy way. I could see her actually moving her head, seeing something new each time. Then I asked her, since she is very awake in a lucid dream state, what she was laughing at. She said,
All the little kids in the room are laughing at me.
Typing it out, it doesn't sound that creepy, but I was so freaked out that I jumped up and bolted to turn on the lights. Didn't sleep that well that night. Experience 13. Woke up in the middle of the night to my husband giggling very creepily. I opened my eyes and let them adjust for a second, then realized he was facing me, eyes closed, with a huge toothy grin on his face, still giggling. I thought he was screwing with me, so I asked what was so funny. He responded with,
Your girl.
Me.
Yeah, okay, and?
Him.
Well, I'm not.
Followed by more creepy giggling, then silence and heavy sleep breathing. I was so confused and was fairly certain he was possessed, but it hasn't happened again, and he had no recollection of it. Experience 14. Before we started dating, my wife stalked me. Once, she called me at 1 a.m., saying that she just happened to be on my street and found a lost dog, knowing full damned well that I have a soft spot for strays. When I came outside, she said the dog ran away, and we spent the next 2 hours trying to track it down. I'm starting to think that there was never a dog. Experience 15. Not married, but one of my female friends is about 6 feet 8 inches. One day I was using her shower and had my eyes closed as I was washing my hair. When I opened my eyes, I saw a face looking down at me over the shower. It scared the living crap out of me. I screamed and slipped, landing on my butt. As I curled into a ball and started crying, I heard her laughing like a maniac. I'm not sure why, but it was horrifying. If she would have peeked through the curtains, I don't think I would have been as scared. Experience 16. Sometimes my wife tries to bring a life-size stuffed animal of Frank the Bunny from Donnie Darko into bed to use as an intercourse toy. I mean, she will sneak that creepy-ass bunny onto the bed in the middle of fornicating and try to get me to hump it. When I refuse, she starts calling me Frank for the rest of our sexy time. Forgive me if I'm not willing to have a threesome with the terrifying hallucination of a schizophrenic cult movie character. Experience 17. I had a very controlling boyfriend. After arguing with me or yelling at me, he usually wanted to have intercourse a short time later to make up. Cool, except he just got done screaming at me for visiting my sister without his permission or something similarly crazy. I would refuse and he would sit as close to me as possible and start jerking off. If I ignored him, he would start making noise, or if I told him to stop, he would yell some more. Yeah. Don't know why I put up with that crap. Experience 18. Another not my spouse but me story. had a friend my wife hated. Later I'd learned to hate him too, so after a few months of her nagging me, one day I called her up pretending to sob and told her,
Babe, Rudy died. I gave him some money to get some ganja, but the deal went wrong. Now the cops won't talk to me. I'm scared. I don't know what to do.
I kept it up for a good 3 or 4 months. She had no idea that I made the whole story up. Occasionally we'd be riding in the car, and I'd do the 1,000-mile stare.
What's wrong, babe?
She'd ask.
I just can't believe Rudy is dead.
She'd rub my shoulders a bit and tell me it was okay, it wasn't my fault. I thought it was time to bring Rudy in on the joke. So, one day we randomly bumped into him. The wife gets a look on her face like she saw a ghost.
What's wrong, babe?
Rudy comes up and starts talking to her.
You jerk! You told me he was dead!
I started looking at her all puzzled.
What are you talking about?
Rudy says,
He can't hear or see me.
Toker, can't you see him? He's standing right in front of us.
You okay, babe? We better go home. You're seeing things.
I finally caved in and let her in on the joke. One of my best. Edit wow, thanks for all the upvotes. Looks like I'm the creepiest spouse in the thread. Edit 2 holy hell, 1,600 plus upvotes and rising. This reply has officially gone to Super Scion. Edit 3 I notice a lot of folks asking the same questions that have been answered further down in the thread. Yes, still married, 20 plus years, on the subject of Rudy, just a really scummy guy/family. We hung out when I was 18 to 20. After I met my wife, I started doing normal things, like gainful employment. Rudy and his family spent their days trying to scrounge up $10 for a gram of weed, or beer, scamming welfare, and basically just kept up their loser behavior. I guess in a way I outgrew that.
We hope you enjoyed listening to today's stories. If you want to see more stories, check out these videos or check the links in the description for more videos. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And ring that notification bell.